Good morning, everyone. I wanted to do a quick follow-up tutorial on the real metals tutorial that I did the other day. And so let's take a look at that. If I dive into Cinema here, I got a real simple scene set up, and I had a wonderful comment from these guys at Studio Heisenberg about using the Falloff shader as opposed to the Fresnel shader to get a more accurate mapping for these refractive index fall-off bits of information that we get from our wonderful plugin here that I showed off in my other tutorial, and that is the refractive index version 1.2. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out. But I have a little model here from 3dscans.com. Great resource here. And I'm using an HDRI from my CG HDRI kit version 2.0. So check that out if you guys haven't already at seanastrom.com. You can also go to sastudios.tv. It will take you to the same site here. But these guys obviously do some amazing renders, super high quality stuff, and it looks like they have some awesome, looks to be like way more advanced tutorials on here. And more to come, so definitely check out Studio Heisenberg. But if we hop over back to Cinema here, and I'm just going to set this up real quick. So if I just build a new Corona material, and let's just call this Metal Fancy, and if I dive into these channels here, I'm going to set diffuse to 1, basically turning it off. And I'm going to set reflection here. I'm going to crank up the IR. I'm actually going to really crank this up to 100. And then for the texture here, we want to throw in a filter so we can adjust the gamma. And then inside of here, I want to throw in a fall-off map. And with this fall-off here, a couple things. We want to set the direction to Z. And we also want to set the space to camera. And the important thing here is we're going to go back to our refractive index plugin. We're going to right click on this RGB value here, and we're going to set driven here. We're going to go to the Falloff shader, and we're going to go set driven. So set driver, set driven. And that just automatically sets up the espresso, so you don't have to do that on your own. So right away you can see here we're getting a nice looking metal. I'm going to lower the glossiness down a hair, just to get a little bit of blur there, or roughness rather. And I'm going to throw this guy onto my model. Going to do a quick save. This model is like many polygons, so yeah, it's like about 4 million. So it's pretty detailed. And let's go ahead and fire up the IPR. I was playing around with the gold earlier, so hopefully this will refresh here and you guys can see the result we get. So there we are, and that's looking pretty dang nice. So I definitely think this is giving a more accurate result than using the Fresnel shader. So thank you so much for that pro tip, Studio Heisenberg. And if we just hop back into the refractive index plugin here, had this set to mercury, let's throw it over to copper, see how that looks. Now you can see that it's a little too saturated, and so based on that we can hop into the filter and set this to 2.2. Also another suggestion from Studio Heisenberg, I think you can kind of play around with this kind of to taste to get the look you're going for. But if you're looking for correct results, that's probably what you need to do, and is set the gamma there to 2.2. But if we hop back over here, switch it to gold, you can see how that gold's looking. So with Corona Render here, using this refractive index 1.2 plugin, which you can get from graphos.xyz, I believe it is. That's posted in my other tutorial. This is one way, and probably the best way, to get those hyper-realistic correct materials. I built one earlier in my previous tutorial, Cobalt, which I think looks pretty cool. You can kind of see how that guy's looking. But yeah, I'm going to just frame this up, let this image resolve here so we can kind of see the quality of that. So yeah, thanks for that tip over there, Studio Heisenberg, and make sure and check out their work. And yeah, guys, I hope you have some fun playing around with these real metals inside of Corona Renderer. See you later.